Another great opportunity for self-advocacy is with another component of the evaluation, polysomnography or sleep study. So you want to ensure that not only do they measure oxygen saturation during your sleep, but also CO₂ or carbon dioxide. Because remember, that is a concern that we have because of our hypoventilation potentially causing us to retain some CO₂. There are a couple of non-invasive, painless ways for doing that. Capnography can measure this through the exhaled breath, and transcutaneous CO₂ monitoring can use a series of sensors that are applied to the skin that will measure that. And you may fall into this particular category where if you have an NMD specializing clinician and you're an adult, they've not ordered sleep study. That is becoming more common, and a big factor in that is that a lot of the sleep labs, even at very reputable university-based hospitals, they're not staffed in such a way to accommodate our needs with going to the restroom, getting dressed, getting in and out of the bed, and also too, sometimes they don't accommodate us bringing a caregiver or a family member, or particularly they don't have space for that individual to sleep. So we hear stories of parents sleeping in their vehicles in the parking lot so that they can be nearby their adult child. At-home sleep study or overnight oximetry, this may be an alternative for you in your area. But the MDA Quest magazine in 2008, they published an article called Not Enough Z's, and I encourage you to look for that. I guess a couple of months ago, I searched for that and found it still in their archive on the Quest magazine page. But they interviewed several experts in the breathing muscle weakness space, and of course, one of those was Dr. Bach. And he questioned the usefulness of polysomnograms for people with muscle diseases because he says the test interprets all abnormalities as central or obstructive apneas rather than muscle weakness, especially when read by physicians unfamiliar with neuromuscular disease. And we hear that all too often. Folks will say, "Oh, I stopped breathing 80 times during my sleep study," or "My child stopped breathing 40 times." And while that may be true, what we see is that the equipment was designed to identify a stop in breathing, an apnea. But for those of us with weak breathing muscles, our weak effort to breathe may be so shallow that the equipment detects it as a stop in breathing, when in reality it was just a very shallow breath. So Bach goes on to point out the misdiagnosis then leads to improper treatment. All symptomatic, weak patients need full nocturnal inspiratory muscle rest with very high span BiPAP or use of portable ventilators to fully rest muscles, not CPAP, oxygen, or low span BiPAP. Treat the patient, not the polysomnogram.